Hare Krishna devotees. I would like to thank all the devotees for joining morning's Japa session and short Bhagavatam class. Today's verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 17th chapter, titled Punishment and Reward of Kali, sloka number 22. Now let's start with short Kirtan. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जयो राधा माधव राधे जयो राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जयो गंधर्विक गिरिधारी गौर हरि नित्य गौर हरि बोल ते गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल. Let's read today's verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Sloka number 17, title Name, Punishment and Reward of Kali, Sloka number 22. Rajyovacha, Dharmam Bravishi Dharmagnya, Dharman Bravishi Dharmagnya, Dharmosi Vrisharupadvik, Dharmosi Vrisharupadvik, यत् अधर्मा कृतस्थानं सुचक्ष्यपि तद्भवेत्. Word to word meaning. Raja Uvacha, the king said, Dharmam, religion, Bhavisi, as you spoke, Dharmagnya, oh, one who knows the code of religion, Dharma, the personality of religion, Asi, you are Vrisharupadvik, in the disguise of a bull, yet, whatever, Adharmakrit, one who acts irreligiously, Sthanam, place, Suchasya, of the identifier, Api, also, Tat, that, Bhavit, becomes. Krishna. Translation. Translation goes like this. The king said, O you who are in the form of a bull, you know the truth of religion, and you are speaking according to the principle that the distinction intended for the proprietor of religious act is also intended for one who identifies the proprietor. You are not no other than the personality of religion. Purport: a devotee's conclusion is that no one is directly responsible for being a beneficiary of or mischief monster without the sanction of the Lord. Therefore, he does not consider anyone to be directly responsible for such actions. But in both the cases, he takes the take it for granted that either benefit or loss is God said, and thus it is His grace. In case of benefit, no one will deny that it is God sent. But in case of loss or reverses, one becomes doubtful about how the Lord could be so unkind his devotees as to put him in great difficulty. Jesus Christ was seemingly put into so much difficulty being crucified by the ignorant, but he was never angry at the mischief mongers. This is the way of accepting a thing, either favorable or unfavorable. Thus, for the devotee, the identifier is equally a sinner, like the mischief monster. By God's grace, a devotee tolerates all reverses. Maharaj Parikshit observed this, and therefore he could understand that the bull was no other than the personality of religion himself. In other words, a devotee has no sufferings at all, because so-called suffering is also God's grace for a devotee who sees God in everything. The cow and bull never placed any complaint before the king for being tortured by the personality of Kali. Although everyone lodges such complaints before the state authority, the extraordinary behavior of the bull made the king conclude that the bull was certainly the personality of religion, for no one else could understand the finer intricacies of the code of religion. ओम नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अपतेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेक्षाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामीति नाम्ने नमः आचार्यपदाय नित्यकृतप्रदायिने गौरकतधामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेक्षाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्यान्त देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So let's discuss this verse. So this verse is really very beautiful and very difficult to apply, but it's very simple to understand. And if you understand this, it's very easy for everyone to apply in everyday's life. So a deep philosophical truth is hidden in this sloka. What is that? How one should accept everything comes to him. It is only by the mercy of the Lord. So we'll be discussing on this point today. See, one thing we need to think that no one is directly responsible for being a benefactor without sanction of the Lord. Without Lord's sanction, nothing will happen. Right? Even if a grass has to move, it has to take the permission. Without Lord's permission, even grass cannot move. Then think about our sufferings, right? So one pastimes I would like to share here. I would like to share one pastime of Lord Ramachandra. So after once, as we all know, Ramachandra finished his Aranyavasa and he just comes back to Ayodhya with his wife, Mother Sita. And he takes care of his kingdom very nicely. During that time, he gets a question telling that he wants to see how are the prajas. He wants to know how the what the prajas are speaking about him. So he just comes out in disguise and he will just see what the prajas are telling. And everywhere he finds a good thing. It is like Rama Rajya, right? Nowhere no troubles will be there, no sufferings will be there. Everyone are happy. But when he was passing through the riverside, he found a dobi wala. He's speaking to his wife. That conversation he hears and he tells her, "Do you think I am like Lord Ramachandra to leave his wife outside and to accept a wife after she returns?" From somewhere else, like this, something he speaks. So what happens? Lord Ramachandra listens to this, and what he does, he just uh, sends Mother Sita to again to the forest. So here we can see nowhere in this Ramayana or Mahabharata, nowhere we can see that devotees or Mahajans or God nowhere complaining that why this is done for me. Never Sita complained telling that why am I suffering? I am a princess, but still why am I suffering? Never she asked, nor even Ramachandra asked, being a king or a princess, I am a pet of the house. Why are you sending me to forest? So nothing happened like this. They all accepted as it is the wish of the Lord, because without Lord's wish, nothing would happen. So as a king, he had to take that step for the welfare of the prajas. So Lord's wish, no one can deny. So kings were going in previous days. What was happening is that the kings were going in disguise to see their prajas. Okay, to find out what was exactly happening. They were not depending on the mediators who were coming and reporting, but once in a while they used to go and personally visit the prajas. Okay, so to see whether the prajas are happy or not, or what is the difficulty they are facing and what should be the solution, they would come back and discuss on that and solve the problem. But what is happening in present situation? Present situation, politicians also they come to visit the prajas, but only for the sake of vote. So this is not the quality of a king. Here in one lecture, Prabhupada clearly tells that democracy is ruled by a demon crazy people. Okay, so we need to understand, like only demons are ruling the present, what is that, prajas. Okay, so to go in depth, first let us understand what is the quality of a king or who is a king. A king is a person who is responsible for both good and bad, what is happening to the prajas. Okay, during Lord Ramachandra's period, if you take, it is actually a well-versed city. There was no difficulty for anything. It seems that in during that time, even a dog had the rights to ring a bell for the justice. So even that king used to answer even question of the dog, or the problems faced by the dog was being solved there. So like this, what like this kings are fully taking care of the prajas. But current situation we can see that like our politicians, they're just taking care of the external needs which is not required at all. Required in the sense, not required in the sense, okay, they provide food, okay, but apart from that they give permission for the illegal activities to happen for the sense gratification. They give a license for the liquor houses, slaughter houses, they give permission for the prostitute houses. Everything is happening because they are not going they are not following the rules and regulations. They are not reading scriptures, they're not following what is given in the scriptures. As per their will they are going. That is the reason the mistakes have been committed here. So here in this sloka, it is clearly they are telling that as a king, he should take the responsibility of two things. One is the he has to take care of the soul and body both. So Praja's soul can be satisfied through bhakti. He has to give the Krishna consciousness to his devotees. And what is required for the body? Food, clothing, and shelter. The basic requirements. That is enough to lead the life. Okay, and through this, what happens? The peace of mind will be situated in that dynasty wherever the king is ruling. So these are the things which a king should provide. So that is given in the Shastras, and the previous slokas also we have heard that these are the qualities of a kingdom. Now, in this sloka, coming back to this sloka, Maharaj Parikshit is seeing the bull. He has lost all the three legs. So it is standing on only one leg, and mother cow is lamenting without the calf. And next to them, there is a person, black person, who is dressed like a king and having weapons in his hand. So, seeing this scenario, everyone can understand that because of Kali only, the cow and the bull are suffering. But Maharaj Parikshit had all rights to punish Kali, seeing the weapons in Kali hand. But no, Maharaj Parikshit did not do that. He asked the bull the exact reason for their suffering. So, a good king, he first asked what is the reason for the suffering. So, in the same this one, Maharaj Parikshit is questioning the bull, telling that what is the exact situation? Why are you suffering? So, bull is a devotee. Okay, it tells, I can't tell you the exact reason for my suffering, but we can understand here that bull is a devotee. As a devotee, he knows that whatever is come in his quota, it is sanctioned by the Lord because of his free will. Whatever we have done with our free will, whatever we do, the equal and opposite reaction will be there, right? So here, God has sanctioned that quota of suffering to him. So that is the reason he is not pointing out on anyone. So please note this point. Bull did not point out showing fingers on the person. Rather, he puts blame on himself, telling that I am held responsible for this suffering. Here in this sloka, Maharaj Parikshit tells Dharma Praveshi means Dharma is speaking. Dharmagnya, you know what is Dharma. Dharmosi means you are speaking like this, which means that you are a Dharma Swarupa only. So only if you are a Dharma Swarupa, you can speak like this. Like how, rather than blaming on others for the suffering, putting the blame on himself. Who can do that? Only Dharma Swarupis can do that. So Maharaj Parikshit is addressing here Bull as Dharma Swarupi. So what the non-devotees or other devotees, what we all will do? We suffer. Okay, we have see in Bhagavad Gita we have read that like happiness and distress is like Shita and Ushna. Ushna and Shita. It means that we should not lament. When as soon as the happiness goes, the sorrow comes. As the sorrow goes, the happiness comes. This is the cycle which comes and goes. We should not sit and lament for that. But here the deep analogy is given why we should not sit and lament during the sufferings. Non-devotee, what he does, he starts blaming, telling that you are responsible for my this position, this particular position, you are held responsible. Just we have to think that at that situation when we were taking the decision, we felt that that decision was right. That is the reason we took it without any guidance. We accepted that and we did it. But after few years, we feel that we what decision what we had taken earlier is wrong, and we start blaming on the others. How telling that he did like this, that is the reason I am suffering. She did like this, and this they did like this. Instead of telling this, that they, he, she, and all, please accept that it is my mistake that I did it. Like this, we need to accept. Here, the bull is doing the same thing. It is not pointing out on others. It was hardly 2 seconds to point out Kali is responsible. So immediately, Maharaj Parikshit would have been punished the Kali. But here, Bull is not doing like that. It is accepting. It is accepting the mistake and it is telling that I am held responsible for my own mistakes. So, as a king, he should ask what is the reason, exact reason he should find out before punishing anyone. So, a small pastime I would like to share for the better understanding of the sloka. Once in one kingdom, one lady, she approaches the king telling that my husband passed away. He just left his body only because he jumped the wall. A wall broke and wall fell on him. That is the reason my husband passed away. So what should a king do when he heard that while jumping a wall, the wall fell on him and he died? This sentence is very clear. We can make out that either he is a thief or he is done something. Because of the fear, he is, instead of walking and going on the road, he jumped a wall. So it is clear that he is a thief. But a king, he did not do that. He will just try to find out who is the maestri, the person who built that wall, and he calls that. He sends his soldiers and he just tells to bring that maestri. He will come and he will tell. The Rajan will explain all this scenario and he will tell me, he will tell, no, Rajan, I am not held responsible for this. Please understand, the person that I have an assistant. That assistant, what he did, he poured more water while mixing the cement and the sand. So that is the reason, since the moisture content is more, the drying process also delays. So that is the reason wall was wet, this person climbed, and that is the reason the wall fell and he died. So king, what he does, he leaves the Mestri, he catches hold, he tells, go get the assistant. Assistant, then soldiers will go and get the assistant. Assistant will come and he will tell, I am sorry, Maharaj, I am not held responsible for this because the pot which I had, it had a very bigger mouth. So because of that, what happened while pouring the water, whatever was sufficient, more than that, the water was poured. So this is not my mistake, it is potter's mistake. So king, again, he sends to get the potter. The potter will come. The potter will tell, okay, this pot was made by me only, but while making that, this one with good mood only, I was making that. But what happened while I was making that pot, a lady, a beautiful lady, passed on my lane, that street. So seeing her, the mouth of the pot became very big. So this is not my fault. So please forgive me. So potter also escaped. So they will get the lady back. They will get the lady, and that lady will tell Rajan, please forgive me. I am not held responsible for this person's death. See, I had given dress for the Dobie person, but the thing happened is that Dobie is delaying to give the dresses. So my husband is in need of those dresses. So that is the reason I was rushing to Dobie's place. So I'm not held responsible. Kindly leave me. So what happens? They go and get the Dobie now. So Dobie, what will he tell? He will tell, I'm extremely sorry. This is not my plate. See, I can't take up this sin because I went to wash the clothes at the right time, but there was a slab, there was a stone there. On that stone, a sadhu was sitting. So Sadhu was meditating. I did not have that guts to go and disturb his meditation. So I was scared of the curse. That is the reason I was sitting and waiting eagerly when that person will go, when I'll wash this clothes and when I will deliver it on time because it was an urgent. Okay, it was very badly needed by the lady and their family. Then he tells, please forgive me. He just tell, I'm not held responsible for this. So Dobie was excused. Then they will go and get that rishi, that sage. That sage, what he does, he will just come and stand. That day it will be a Mauna Vrata for him. He can't speak. He should not speak. So Rajan will tell, see, Rishi, you went and sat on that stone, which was where the Dobie work was going on. So the stone, that is the reason Dobie could not deliver. That is the reason the lady ran and came in that road. That was the reason the potter did a wrong pot and he just sold it to the assistant and the assistant poured more water and the masonry built a wall and climbing that wall, the person fell down and he died. And what he does, the king, without any further what is that investigation or something like that, what he tells that the rishi, the sage, is responsible for the guy's death. Okay, the female, the lady who came and complained that her husband's death is responsible only because of this sage. Okay, so like this, you just we can just what is that? We can just think on this. Who is the person who is responsible for this, for the person's death? So there's a big chain like this. Okay, so we should be very conscious regarding this decision taking. Okay, here where is the connection? If we see, where is the connection? There is no connection at all. The chain goes on like that. And if you ask the sage, I think if the sage did not have the Mauna Vrata, he would have given one more reason and the chain would have been followed like that only. But that didn't happen here. He was punished for the mistake, what he was not done. But still the sage accepted it. Okay. Like this, in present situation also, we start blaming on others for our own mistakes done. We are responsible for our own sufferings. So we should get this finalized. We should stick on this, telling that we are only held responsible for the sufferings than sitting and lamenting and putting blame on others. Okay. So here God has given us free will. Okay. By misusing that free will only, we are making the mistakes. How? See, now what happens is a father gives 100 rupees to the kid. Okay, if he's a teenager, what does he do? He will use it for eating, or he will use it for smoking or drinking or whatever it is. It is his free wish because dad has told that it is for you. It is your wish. You do anything you want. But what a devotee does, he uses for the service of the Lord, and he uses for the devotees of the Lord. So this is the difference. Okay, so Prabhupada clearly explains in this sloka, telling that just accept whatever comes to you, thinking that it is sanctioned by the Lord. Instead, if you start blaming and pointing out, what happens? The karma of the opposite person also, you need to accept it. So karma also, you need to suffer his karma also. So when you start pointing other person, telling that he is responsible for your suffering, what happens? The karma, you have to share his karma also. So rather than that, it is better that we just accept that it is the God's wish that we are suffering today. It's okay. It's based on our previous karma, and just keep quiet. So by this, what will happen? There will be no enmity. There will be no grudge, and nothing bad will be happen, and there will be peaceful atmosphere everywhere. And in this purport, Prabhupada also mentions a small pastime about Jesus Christ also. Jesus Christ, at the time of crucifixion, he spoke 7 last words during his crucifixion time. The words goes like this: "O Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So please see here, it Jesus was mediator of the Lord, and he was spreading the message of the Lord. Nowhere he did anything wrong. But what did people do? They crucified him. And what is Jesus doing? Rather than blaming him, telling that he would have told, I am just spreading the message of the Lord. I'm not doing anything illegal or something like that. Please, why are you crucifying? He never did that. What did he do? Rather, he started telling, he was asking forgiveness for the Lord, telling that forgive the small innocent people who are crucifying me. That is the quality of a devotee. See, by God's grace, a devotee tolerates all reverses. So many reverses, whatever reverses comes, a devotee will tolerate it, because devotee knows that he accepts, telling that yes, this is the gift given by the Lord. See, many times we feel that whenever we are happy, we don't thank the person who is responsible for that. But whenever we are in distress, or whenever we are suffering very badly, we think because of him only that happened, because of her only that happened. But here in this sloka, it is clearly mentioned that we need to accept it, thinking that it is the quota what we need to accept it, given by the Lord. You get no benefit if you do anything without sanction of Krishna. It might be benefit or loss. We need to understand that it's sent by God to us. When Maharaj Parikshit identified the bull of religion personified, similarly, a devotee is also identified as chanting, because of his chanting, reading, hearing, wearing kantimala, doing japa. By all this, seeing all this, we can identify a devotee very easily. Okay, so in this sloka, the cow and bull, please note that they never place any complaint. Similarly, a devotee also, as a devotee, we should also not complain. This point we should note here. So in the last, it is told that no one else could continue the finer intricacies of codes of religion. So code of religion and code of law is very difficult to understand, but it is clearly given in 3 processes. We can understand this: the knowledge of received, the knowledge received, the knowledge revealed, and the knowledge realized. So first, let us understand what the knowledge what we receive is through Shastras given by the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, many scriptures are there to understand, to receive the knowledge. But after receiving, how we can just read and go. But when can we realize it? When we surrender to a guru. Okay, through deep, we can understand the deep understanding of the scriptures. When we surrender to the guru, then only we will realize the shastras. So after realizing, what should we do? Um, we should spread it to others. Okay, so we need to give it to others. When a devotee has received and realized scriptural knowledge, then he is able to communicate the same knowledge to others. So knowledge is a key aspect of our mission. So our mission is that we need to first read the scriptures, we need to accept a guru, understand the scriptures, and we need to reveal the secret, what is there in the scriptures. So it is here, Prabhupada tells that knowledge is a key aspect of our mission to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. So coming back to the sloka, the deeper philosophical truth is given in the sloka. That is how we need to accept that whatever is received, good or bad, is sanctioned by the Lord. So Lord himself, rather than blaming on others, we need to accept and move on. A devotee always has no sufferings at all, because so-called suffering is also God's grace for a devotee. He will think, recently, one of the devotee met with an accident. So I just, he's a youth only, youngster. I just asked him, called, and just inquired with him, like, how are you feeling now, and what happened, and everything. The reply given by the devotee was really pleasing. It was really very nice. I learned a lesson from that. He told, God is so merciful, Mataji, that I got a chance to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So I felt really it's an opportunity, and I am free. I can't move from the bed, so I'm free for this next 2 months. So I have all the time to read the scriptures. So this is the mood of a devotee. So whatever, if it was in that place, if a non-devotee was there, he would have automatically blamed, hey, that person came in front, this person came in front, he did like this, he did like that. No, a devotee accepts it. So this is a true example. So with this, I would like to end up today's short Bhagavatam class. I would like to thank Mathurapati Prabhu and Parabhakti Mataji for giving this wonderful opportunity for my own personal purification. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Shira Prabhupada ki jai, Patapan Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.